Good fun evening, YouTube. We got a 2-for-1 Juicy Rant special going on. Now, I do appreciate Andrew sending me a kick-ass care package. I got a couple of cool things that I can make a staff with. Got this kick-ass looking medallion right there. That's cool looking. And as well as some cobra skin right there with the head. You can see the hood. This will be a challenge to make for our staff, but I think if I can pull it off, I'll be able to add another type of wand style to my Etsy, and of course, I'll have to charge more because we'll see how long it takes and how easy it is to do. Andrew, speaking of the wands, he said when or more going to be available as soon as I can. We're getting them done. But we're not here to talk about that. Nope. Sydney Watson and Jennifer made this video because apparently Sydney Watson thinks white privilege is dumb, and Tommy Lorraine thinks there's no good men left. I've been drinking just a little bit, and you're gonna need alcohol for this because this is just
I'm tired. Aren't you tired?
Everyone's tired of something, Sydney, I tell you what.
Hi, my name is Channel. Welcome back to my Sydney. As per usual, this video is sponsored by our friends over at Surfshark because I'm bad at posting consistently. And I'm sorry about that. There is a lot happening in the world right now.
To be fair, sometimes it can be hard to post consistently on YouTube. You get in those moods where you're just like, you don't want to make a video. So there's nothing wrong with taking a break from making YouTube videos. I've done it before. But anyways, you were saying?
Now, but I wanted to follow on from the discussion.
Drinking some 99 proof bananas. I do appreciate the cool things that, smoker's cough, yum. Just kidding. No, but I do appreciate the cool stuff that Andrew sent in the care package. It can come in quite useful. Meantime, Sydney Watson's over here saying that white privilege is dumb again. And you got Tommy Lorraine saying how there's no good men left. It's like, it's enough ridiculousness in our society to make you want to drink. Now next week I'll be going into pre-op for my cataract surgery, so hopefully I'll be able to see better. That'll be nice.
That we were having in my last video. You know, the discussion about us evil white people. So today we're going to talk about white privilege and Oprah's comments on it and this guy's comments on it. Okay? But first, and before we do that, quick detour over to this other story because it's a doozy. Recently, this photo went viral showing a man kneeling on a child's neck while another person holds that child down, and some absolute garbage human takes the photo. And it has the caption, BLM now MFer, which I guess stands for many fun.
I hate child abuse. Enough said.
Fun. Mother funner.
You know, and regardless of race, Sydney, it still would have gone viral. But the fact that nobody's talking about it because of X, Y, and Z, you know, considering how things have played out in our society, we'll get into the meat and potatoes of that here in a second.
Flowers. Please stop. Anyway, I don't know about the rest of you, but nothing says to me, let's fight racism, quite like kneeling on the neck of a completely innocent child, who happens to be white. Sounds like progress, really out here improving those racial relations.
Starting off, Sydney makes a couple of decent points. With the stereotype of us whites is that we're violent and aggressive or racist or blah blah blah, or if men are aggressive in general. Shit like that's just gonna make it worse.
Very good. Now, this story bothered me for a bunch of fairly obvious reasons, and while
Right.
children are fairly weird and loud, I still have a massive problem with people messing with them. Children are so innocent, and I don't really understand why adults bring them in on particular issues or use them as political props.
That is true. I see people using their kids to protest anti-abortion, using it as a political prop. So yeah, I've seen it.
Or endanger their lives. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to stop doing that. I feel like this universally, no matter what the kid looks like, no matter what the situation is. I feel this way every time I watch drive-by shootings where kids are around. I don't understand people. I don't know, guys.
I don't understand people either. Why we gotta use the youngins for political props? You know, children are getting killed in drive-bys because of stupid gang violence. Then you got these dumbasses who are trying to make some political statement, but it's just like, why, you two?
Guys, it kind of just feels like this is Jeffrey Epstein's world of child abuse, and we're all just living in it. Well, if nothing else, it seems that Bill Clinton certainly is. Now, the other
Fuck child abuse.
problem with this story is that it didn't get any national coverage at all, which I guess goes to show that the media is only interested in pushing a specific kind of victimization story, and it usually involves nooses and fake hate crimes. Really determined to walk that line of getting banned again, aren't you?
Fake hate crimes. Okay. Let's just get this out of the way. First of all, Sydney, you talked about your European ancestors being enslaved. So, calling it a fake hate crime when it happens to the other side is extremely hypocritical. Second of all, Scottish and Irish immigrants chose to come to America to make a better life for themselves. And yes, they might have been enslaved, with their necks sunburned, forced to pray to a sky god they didn't believe in. But they were not forced to come here like the Africans were. You had members of African tribes trading members of their own tribe to these white assholes. And then the Africans in turn that were traded off were forced to come to America. Big difference. Second of all, Sydney, you haven't had a fire hose sprayed at you because you're white. You haven't been forced to sit in the back of the bus or use separate drinking fountains. Shit like that. So you want to talk about white privilege. And here's the bitch of it. Even though some whites are not racist today, you cannot blame the other side for having some resentment, would be the appropriate word.
I do what I want. I think most of us can say fairly definitively that had a picture of a white person kneeling on the neck of a black child gone viral, then the story would have been everywhere.
Too far, Sydney.
I don't know, there might even have been a fresh round of peaceful protesting in response to it.
Oh.
Because we all know
Why you gotta take it to that level?
how much the radical left like to peacefully protest.
Just like we know how the radical right likes to blame the radical left for everything, and the radical left likes to blame the radical right for everything. Because who cares about the issues when you're busy pointing fingers at each other? To be fair, Sydney, I've seen all walks of life rioting in the news, and they're calling it peaceful protesting. It boggles me.
But I guess because this child has all sorts of white privilege, this abuse does not result in any national media coverage at all. Terrific. And that brings me to the topic of white privilege. But before we get into that, here is my bad segue into the sponsor of today's video. Because I am lazy. And today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. Did you know that browsing the internet is dangerous? Really? Did you know that at this very moment there...
Okay, Sydney pretending to eat Tide Pods after she said, "Did you know the internet's dangerous?" And then pretending to eat Tide Pods. That's ha 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 ha. Okay, I see what you did there. The internet's dangerous. No shit. I got swatted because some troll wanted to make fun of my dry spell. So yeah, the internet can be dangerous. This is why when people are looking at me going, Cobra, you don't get to make this argument on this video because you're white. I'm like, well, let's just not go down that rabbit hole.
There's a man from the FBI watching your every internet click? That's fine, I don't have an iPhone. Did you know that your service provider can track everything you do online and then sell that information to advertisers? Stop giving me ads for caravans. If you didn't know those things already, now you do. But it's also why you need Surfshark VPN. Surfshark protects your private information online, doesn't keep any logs of your online sessions, and hides your IP address, meaning that service providers and hackers can't track what you do. It also makes it more difficult for your FBI man, who's developing quite a crush on you. You big cutie. So for all of this and more, head over to surfshark.deal/Sydney for 85% off and 3 extra months free. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk in...
I've definitely had enough alcohol for the evening to cope with the amount of bullshit that's going to be in this rant video. King Cobra's changing things. I mean, my fans will send me cool stuff in the mail, like a Cobra snake skin and a cool little King Cobra medallion. And my creative mind starts spinning. I'm like, we could turn that into a wicked cool staff. People will look at that and go, is that a Cobra snake skin wrapped around that? Dude, that is tight. Like, yeah. You make those? Where'd you get that? I made it. Oh, dude, could you make me one? How much did you charge? You know what I'm saying? It's good for business, and making wands, staff, scepters is great for my stress relief. And on top of that, I take great pride in the wands that I make, and that's why my wand business is so successful. To Andrew, who sent the care package, thank you, much obliged. Yes, I'll be getting more wands available soon, although they tend to sell pretty quickly, so get them while you can.
And trying it out. So click the link in the description and your FBI agent will ask you on a hot date. Now, in a recent episode of the Oprah conversation, Oprah and an NFL linebacker spoke to several white guests who admitted to their racism, because of course they did.
White people, there are white people who are not as powerful as...
Here's where Sydney and Oprah both made very fair points. You know, like, no offense to anyone, but this is an issue that faces both sides of the argument, but also affects whites in the sense of, oh, you're white, of course you're racist. That's just so typical. And every race has their stereotype that makes their race look bad. That's just the cold truth of it. But at the same time, Oprah makes a very fair point as well. She says, yes, there are people out there who are white, who have less political power, who are still racist. But at the same time, people are so quick to bring politics into it and, you know, I don't care who you support, whether Trump's racist and sexist or not. One person is not responsible for how everyone else acts, especially if this country has always had a problem with racism and sexism. At this point, I'm gonna start drinking water to hydrate my kidneys so I don't completely blow my shit out before I'm fucking 40. Ooh-wee.
As the system of white people, the caste system that's been put in place, but they still, no matter where they are on the rung or the ladder of success, they still have their whiteness.
Well, would you just look at the time?
Yes, would you look at the time? It's time for controversy as usual, right? Opinions themselves can be controversial. That's just how it is.
I have to go jump in a river. She follows these comments by saying, you still have your whiteness. That's what the term white privilege is. It means that whiteness still gives you an advantage no matter. Oprah, I'm just wondering, should we consider your exorbitant net worth to be some sort of reparations? Just asking for a friend. Now, around the same time as the Oprah clip, I also found this other clip, which also discusses white privilege. It's like they hit us all at once. When you say hit, if you mean using anti-white rhetoric to call out your disgusting, immutable characteristic of being white, over which you have a no control, but still makes you a disgusting bigot and a pig anyway, then yeah, I guess you could say they're hitting you. Why are you...
I hate to bring up transracial, but the bigot thing is kind of true because you look at people like Nuka Zeus who claim to be a different race, and when you call them out on doing blackface and being racist, people call you a transphobe and a bigot. Yet they also tell you that doing blackface is politically incorrect, so it's kind of confusing.
using immutable in quotation marks, like I have some sort of control over it. I have no choice in this. Only black people have no choice in things. You would know that if you didn't have so much white privilege.
Oh my God, Sydney. First of all, you can't control who has privilege and who has victimhood. People control themselves, they cannot control the outcome to a degree. If you choose to be racist or sexist, it's just going to make the world crappier and make people hate each other even more. If you choose to try to be a decent person and change things for the better good, people are going to be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, Cobra's making some fair points. So that racist comment that Sydney made, that only black people don't have a choice. First of all, Sydney, like I said earlier, have you been sprayed with a fire hose because you're white? No, you haven't.
It's not even worth it.
You've probably had discussions at home, at school, or at work, and in those conversations you've probably heard the term white privilege. You may have even had this term used in a way that felt like an insult or an accusation. Others will have told you that it's all just made up to make white people feel bad, and none of this is right. Privilege is a hard concept for people to understand because normally when we talk of privilege, we imagine immediate, unearned riches and tangible benefits for anyone who has it. But white privilege, and indeed all privilege, is actually more about the absence of inconvenience, the absence of an impediment or challenge, and as such, when you have it, you really don't notice it. But when it's absent, it affects everything you do.
This is all so weird to me because these people act like...
That dude makes a very fair point. You don't notice privilege, whether it's white, what have you, until there's an absence of it. Because nowadays, minorities, women, and what have you have more privilege. because of the crap that us asshole whites did all these years ago. However, at the same time, that doesn't mean it's okay to be just as mean right back. To some varying degree, sexism and racism affects everyone regardless of gender or race. That's the shitty part of it.
Being white is some sort of fast track ticket through a theme park where it's like, oh, you're white, here you go, here's your fast track to a happier, easier life. Enjoy your ride on the roller coaster. No one gave me a fast track ticket to life. Where's my ticket? I think your parents have to apply for that one at birth. I mean, in a monetary or financial sense, if you want that fast track to success, then you should probably just be Indian, or Filipino, or Taiwanese, or Sri Lankan.
There's a good chance, as a white person watching this, your life is already hard. Every day you have to overcome some difficulty or challenge just to get by.
Here's the thing of it, everyone struggles with a challenge, everyone struggles to some degree to get by. And there are some people who don't struggle with that. That's just the shitty part about life. Some people are just born into shitty circumstances.
But you can still have white privilege. White privilege doesn't mean you haven't worked hard or you don't deserve the success.
Exactly. If you're white and you've worked your ass off just like anyone else to get your successes in life, that doesn't mean you still can't have white privilege, because you can. It doesn't mean you don't deserve your successes. It just means that you have to acknowledge your privilege without being a self-hating white and without being a racist about it.
Success you've had. It doesn't mean that your life isn't hard or that you've never suffered. It simply means that your skin color has not been the cause of your hardship or suffering.
This idea is so wild to me because if...
Now, Sydney thinks that what this guy says is wild to her. I actually agree. And here's why I agree. The cause of white privilege is not because of the color of your skin. It's because of the historical bullshit that we've had to deal with. If you look at the history of our racist country, it's ridiculous.
It basically suggests that discrimination against the white population doesn't happen. And it does. The white motorcyclist who was murdered recently for being white, his skin color caused his suffering. Anti-white rhetoric is literally why this murder was committed.
Navarro told detectives that he believed the person driving the motorcycle was white because in Wisconsin, white people drive Harley-Davidson motorcycles, and that the Harley culture is made up of white racists.
According to the criminal complaint, Navarro told detectives he's been the victim of racist comments from people who are all Caucasian and...
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, you get the point of where Sydney's going with this video. But here's the thing of it, YouTube. Racism and sexism exist on all sides. With that being said, we're going to break into another video and talk about how Tommy Lorraine thinks there's no good men left in our society. Oh well. I'm gonna mute this ad because this ad sucks. Now listen, I'll let you in on secrets. If you want to smell good for the ladies, get yourself some tactical soap. Coupon code King Cobra will have you smelling good with 10% off your next order. One of the complaints women make about men is, you men stink. Not only does tactical soap help you smell good, but it has you smelling good for the ladies. When I see women that are of age walking by me and going, that dude smells good, it's a confidence booster. Disclaimer, Jennifer does not know Tommy Lorraine. This is just a video she does of satire. And I'm not here to pick on Tommy Lorraine or Jennifer for that matter. I'm here to do a video response and leave it at that. And insert my personal opinion. This other video is a little bit shorter. I wasn't trying to pick on Sydney Watson for that matter, just wrapping it up nicely with my side of the story, my side of my opinion, etc., etc. There's a lot to unpack with this kind of video. I'm not trying to make it too long, but let's get into the other half of it. Before we do, I want to grab a glass of water. Oh boy. Excuse me. This is going to be the end of the video, basically. Responding to this craziness as well. I do appreciate y'all watching it and subscribing to the channel. So as I've stated, Jennifer does not know Tommy Lorraine. Neither do I. The video that Jennifer does is satire. What I'm going to do is be a little bit nicer about it instead of being mean just because Tommy Lorraine said a sexist remark and because a lot of people dislike her. We're still going to be nice about it because that's what a gentleman does. So this is Jennifer Molesky's video, All the Good Men Are Gone. All men are trash. And this was an opinion made by another female by the name of Tommy Lorraine. Jennifer is a famous YouTuber, and Tommy Lorraine is a famous political figure. Simplest way to put that without going into detail is just play the video. I forgot I muted the ad for the other soap because tactical soap's better. Yeah, buddy. That God of War pheromone beard oil will have your whiskers that you grow out softer than silk.
Hello everyone. I was going to make this video when I was a little bit more relevant to the scene, but I don't have that kind of time, so I'm just going to do it now. This video is in defense of my friend Tommy's video where she so courageously took...
So here's Jennifer doing this satire video making fun of Tommy Lorraine. And you might dislike Tommy Lorraine because of various reasons, but I feel like some of the complaints Tommy Lorraine makes are relevant to the gender relations issue.
time out of her day.
But we're also going to state my side of the argument with some of the crap she does say without being mean. Because I feel like being mean to people just makes the situation worse.
her busy day to help the weak men of our society.
I consider myself a teacher, a helper, someone who could possibly inspire people to be better.
So basically you have a really cute blonde who is pissed off at the dating scene, and then you have a cute older gal who is making fun of that cute blonde. Just chicks bickering about chick stuff, man. Not to try and sound sexist, but according to Tommy Lorraine, all the good men are gone. If I had $100 for every time I heard that shit. I'm almost 30 years old and I've been hearing that crap for all my life. All my life it's, you're a man, you're the problem. And I'm being raised with good morals to respect women like any decent person should be raised. We live in a society where men are being raised to respect women, or at least they should be. But women are being raised to think all men are just pigs. Going back to the first half of the rant, when men are assholes to minorities and women, this is kind of the payback they get for dealing with it, or doing it, you know? Is it extremely unfair for the white people, or men in general, who are not sexist or racist? Yes, but it's also extremely unfair that women and minorities have had to go through so much crap just to get their rights. So this rant can be really exhausting to a point on both sides, but it needs to be said. Because dating and race relations don't have to suck, but people choose to make it so.
Better. So, with that being said, this is a PSA.
Speaking of PSAs, because, you know, according to Tommy Lorraine, there are no decent guys out there left. Yeah, I made a pretty badass PSA on my YouTube channel. You should check that out. It's in my recent videos. And you want to talk about inspiring people, Tommy Lorraine, let me tell you something. I've had fans that reach out to me and go, Cobra, your videos help me with my depression. Thank you for that. And my response is always the same. Thank you for your support.
For all the men out there, and all the boys who think they're men, but they're actually boys.
I thought it was nothing but delightful to watch, those kind of truth bombs being delivered by her. But apparently all the boys didn't like it. Tommy is getting some flack for her wonderful and courageous video, so I just want...
To be fair, Jennifer is obviously against Tommy Lorraine for her political beliefs. So of course, rather than be like, hey, you know what? Here's a fellow female who's been treated like crap by men. Instead of relating to that and be like, hey, you know what? I kind of get that. Nope, you're going to make fun of her instead. This is why my female empowerment shirts kick ass. Ladies, you're stronger in numbers.
wanted to make this video to help her and to help you. I'm in that same awesome friend group that Tommy is.
All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men.
So I'm gonna help you change.
A woman that has an issue with man. Gee, there's something that's new, right?
Some thinking, so you can be the kind of man that can get with me or one of my really awesome and pretty friends.
Almost every single one of them have an issue with men.
So it seems pretty unfair to me that all of my pretty and amazing friends are having such a hard time finding a great guy.
Almost every single one of them have an issue with men.
We're all having issues, which I don't understand.
You have to start...
You know, Jennifer makes a fair point in this video. We're all having issues and I don't understand. That's kind of true. Men and women are having issues with the dating scene because regrettably the internet and more advanced technology has made dating more difficult. And regrettably, finding the right person is also a struggle men face. The diamond in the rough. You know? And that's the thing of it. When women are sitting there complaining about how there's no good men left, it's just like saying all women are bitches, and women get so ticked off at that shit. But that's the thing of it, ladies. If you don't want gender-based assumptions being thrown your way, why do it to men? Just because men in the past are pigs, and now there are some men who have learned their ways, and some men, even back then, were not pigs. Just like some whites back then were not racist. But if you choose to focus on the extreme end of either thing, sometimes the argument gets lost because people are sitting there focused on which side has it harder instead of focusing on fixing the issues, and that's where society pisses me off. Instead of sitting here going, let's fix gender relations, let's fix race relations, it's all about pointing fingers and blaming sides. Well, you Republicans, well, you Democrats, well, you men, well, you women, blah, 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 blah.
Looking at that and thinking, if an age range of that many people, including myself, living really all over the country and being blonde, brunette, short hair, long hair, I mean, tan, super white, super pale, I mean, these women range in every body type and everything. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men.
Tommy Lorraine does make a fair point. It doesn't matter what body type you are. Women seem to have an issue with dating men. But the same could be also said for men. You know how many fucking times I've heard men complain about women and women complain about men? It's fucking retarded. Oh, Cobra's politically incorrect. Kiss my Asperger's.
They're all successful, they're all intelligent, they're all good people.
Well, not everyone's good people. I mean, to be fair, Tommy Lorraine, if you're a shitty person on the inside, it's not going to matter how attractive you are on the outside. But at the same time, I feel like men are only dating Tommy Lorraine because she's a smoking hot blonde and because she's a celebrity, which is pretty fucking shallow. But then again, we're not going to bring politics into it. Nope, nope, nope.
But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It might be men. It might be men.
Because I see married couples out in the world, a lot of them look happy.
Sometimes it is men, I ain't gonna lie. That's part of having heterosexual guilt. Is that a thing? I think it might just be, if you want to talk about white guilt, talk about having guilt for wanting of-age pussy because of the way women are treated in our society. Ooh, Cobra, too far.
So why are these women married, but not me and my really pretty and amazing friends? The only thing I can think is these women settled. These women are stupid, they have low self-esteem, they're stupid.
The kind of girl who's just kind of happy, going through the motions of life, not really super ambitious.
How are you gonna sit there, Tommy Lorraine, and sit there and say that not super ambitious, but we're all doing things with our life? It's kind of counterproductive and counterproductive to what you said, but at the same time, you know, we're all going through life, trying to make the best of it.
They're not like me and my friends who are amazing and ambitious and pretty.
People like me and my friends who have something going on.
The bitch of this is that both the chicks in this video are pretty, so it's just like, but that's my personal opinion as a guy. Like, that fucking matters, you sexist pig.
I think a lot of these married women seem like pushovers. I hear some women get married and then, I can hardly say it without throwing up a little in my mouth. Some women try to like anticipate their husband's needs and they show respect for their husband. And here's why I'm so against that. Their husbands don't deserve respect. This is how I know. If there was a man worth
Like if you didn't have the disclaimer at the front of Jennifer's video saying this is satire, do not take this seriously. Like, okay, you know what? You want to make fun of what Tommy Lorraine says instead of support her because every female goes through that struggle. That's your choice.
Worthy of respect, he would have chosen
Praise the female goddess Lilith. Female empowerment's a beautiful thing, ladies. You're stronger in numbers.
me or any one of my amazing and pretty and ambitious, successful, strong friends. Not some idiot low-life woman who's going to show respect for them. Sorry. You asked. We're telling you.
I talk to my mom about this a lot, and she says, well, maybe it's just the guys in Texas. Maybe it's just the guys in Los Angeles. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly...
Thinking about this.
Ah, for fuck's sake. According to Tommy Lorraine, all men are just trash. Yeah, because I'm such a trashy piece of shit. I made a public service announcement on my YouTube video channel thingy-my-bobber schnobber that kicks ass. Okay, I'm a little bit drunk, but holy crap, sometimes you gotta get drunk to deal with people's stupid shit. And to be fair, sometimes these opinions are formed strictly because of the way people are treated. And that's the real bitch of it.
This a lot lately too, and I talked to my mom about it, and she suggested that maybe it's the men who I'm attracting. Maybe it's the men I'm choosing. I love my mom, but she is so out of touch. It's not me, Mom. Men are trash everywhere in this country. Tommy said that we don't want you to just text us. We want you to take us out to dinner. We want...
First of all, fellas, let me give you a piece of advice. Women want you to want to do things for them. They don't tell you what you want, they just expect you to know. And then they expect you to do everything. Like when it comes to flirting, you gotta make the first move and show that you're a real man. But then as soon as you turn around and do it, now you're being aggressive with your flirting. And the best part of it is women are told it's okay to be aggressive with your flirting because all men want is pussy. Don't you just love double standards?
We want to see you. We want to go on a hike. We want to have coffee with you. Make plans with us.
This has been a 5-year problem that I've experienced.
Holy crap, so Tommy Lorraine has been experiencing shitty dating problems for 5 years? That makes me appreciate my 3-year dry spell because honestly I'm not as famous as she is. But that just goes to show you that dating's a problem in our society because people in social media make it a problem. And the only reason social media is a problem is because people in society make it a problem. Just like the problem with dating. All these double standards that women and men are placed to. You know why women live longer? Because they're allowed to express their emotions. Men are told to bottle up your emotions, you pussy.
With men, and my friends have experienced with men. Women do not want a pen pal.
You say that, but if you have a man that's willing to text you and get to know you first and then you find out it might be legit, that's the fun of dating, I guess, is, you know. But on that same note, women deal with a different issue. Like, you got some guy that says, oh, he's legit, blah, blah, blah. He's all texting you, all this pretty bullshit, and then he turns out to be a real creep in real life. That's just the kind of crap that women have to go through when it comes to dating. And we could sit here and act like it's completely unfair that if you reject a woman because she's too fat for you, that's fat shaming. But if a woman does the same thing to a man, nobody says shit. And if you have a problem with that double standard, fellas, then you can trade places with a woman where women are expected to always be their prettiest. And if women want to bitch about the privilege that men have, okay, you can trade places with the man and then have society expect you to always be your toughest and never show signs of weakness. And to some degree, women do deal with that crap. You know, the age-old stereotype, quit throwing like a girl. That kind of indigenous sexist talk affects both genders. It demasculates men and puts this idea that women can't perform just as good as the boys. Therefore, yes, creating sexism, the war against the genders, and double standards. Think about that for a second, YouTube.
We don't want a texting pal. We quite frankly don't care if you text us all day or if you don't text us at all. If you're not going to make a plan to actually see us in person, not interested.
And can you blame Tommy Lorraine and women for not being interested? I mean, if you're not going to make a plan to see them in person, you could be some weirdo creep. They don't know you, and that's kind of true for both genders. So it's good to make plans to see the person in real life. This is kind of how dating works. I hate to tell you this, but don't just randomly text a motherfucker in the middle of the day like, hey, what are you doing? Want to grab a beer? They could have plans that you don't know of, like maybe they're busy with work or etc., etc. So, you know, make time to schedule things like dating and going out for a drink. You know, and fellas, don't be afraid to do spontaneous and romantic crap for your woman. And ladies, don't be afraid to return the favor. Right? If your boyfriend goes out of his way to please you and be respectful to you, he smells good with that tactical soap, he's a gentleman. He does romantic things for you because he wants to make you happy, not because it's a special occasion. You know, pack a romantic picnic. Shit like that. Women love that crap. Trust me, fellas. And yes, double standards are a bitch, but you have to put things into perspective from their arguments. Women go through so much crap in our society because they give birth to children, and because the female form is overly sexualized / worshipped in our society. So yes, some women can figure this out. Most women know what I'm talking about. You can use that to your advantage, but then turn around and complain when men have privilege. And then men complain when women have privilege. It's like both genders need to shut the fuck up about privilege and start focusing on what makes you similar. This is why dating sucks for adults.
Make plans. Make a plan.
So she was right to tell you that, but she didn't tell you why. So I'm going to tell you why. You have to initiate the plans, because we will not. We will not lower ourselves to ask you to hang out. We will not ask you out to dinner. We will not recommend going on a hike. We won't.
Real talk though, if you have a girl you're taking out for a bite to eat and you pull some old school gentleman shit, and if she's not used to being treated like a lady, if she's not used to being treated like a lady, it's gonna blow her freaking mind. And women are gonna be defensive about this crap because there are some real fucking assholes who use that gentleman crap to get laid. They don't care about the woman's feelings, and it makes real gentlemen look like pigs too. It just makes things worse. Oh fuck, is it irritating. And the same argument is made for women who do crap like take advantage of men and their money situation, etc. It just creates negative standards and opinions based off of everyone just saying it's your fault. No, it's your fault.
Don't bring up wanting to see you in real life. That's your job. Just make the plans with us, and you'll see how fun and amazing we are. Believe me, you want to spend time with us. Me, or like my friends who are pretty and amazing. We'll rock your world. Now, when you make
We'll rock your world. I play guitar. What you talking about?
plans, it can't be soon. If you're going to make plans with us, it has to be like 12 to 24 to 2 weeks ahead in advance.
Do not assume that you can text somebody randomly in the middle of the day, what are you doing? Or even just within hours of when you actually want to see them and think that they're going to be available. So if
This idea that you can't text someone that might be a potential dating partner, hey, what are you doing? This idea that you can't text to get to know someone before you physically meet. You know, I see where that could be inconvenient for a lot of people, but also at the same time, if you're in a rush to date, you're gonna find shitty people. If you're a shitty person yourself, regardless of how attractive you are, You're going to attract shitty people. Ooh-wee.
If you didn't make a plan earlier in the day, or better yet, a day or 2 or 3 in advance, I'm not interested.
A woman like me and my friends, who are the women you really want to be with,
Almost every single one of them have an issue with men.
we're not spontaneous.
And men seem to have an issue with women, and quite frankly, it's just heartbreaking. People are like, Cobra, you need to get laid, and I'm like, no, I need to change gender relations and work on myself before I can have that luxury in life.
Got it?
If that's what you want, find them. Please, for the love of God, do not mix us in with them.
We probably already have plans most of the time anyway.
There are some women who like the thrill of the chase, just like men. The idea that, you know what I'm saying, but let's not go down that rabbit hole either. But to be fair, Tommy Lorraine makes a fair point. Not all women like the thrill of the chase. Some women prefer to have more direct and honest communication. They want to meet face to face to make sure the guy's not some fucking creep. You know what I'm saying?
So you have to give us time and we'll pencil you in. And if you're good enough to like date you, or if you're lucky enough for us to marry you, I don't want you to think that you're going to magically become a priority to us. We are
Magically, if you want to fix your relationship, let me tell you something. You want to spice your bedroom life up, you get some KY, mine plus hers. Assuming that you and your partner are not allergic to lube. And for the fellas, I would recommend wearing some tactical soap. It gets your woman's estrogen going. And some women think that that shit should be illegal. Here's why I disagree. Women, you don't have to try that hard to make a man horny. You show up in a tight dress and a push-up bra, men are just like, oh. Women command the dating scene a lot more than they realize, but also suffer equally as much as any man would. And that's the irony of it. Is like I said earlier, genders and races suffer victimhood as well as privilege. It's the yin and the yang of life. And we can bitch about it or we can fix the issues. And personally, I'd rather fix the issues. And sometimes in order to fix the issues, we gotta bitch about it. Heh.
You're beautiful and successful and ambitious, and we don't have much time for you. And if you want that sort of stupid woman who would make you a priority over themselves, their businesses or their jobs or their...
Now, when it comes to relationships, never go to bed angry with your other half, and never make the other person a priority over yourself, but at the same time, be supportive of your other half. You see these high school sweethearts who are still dating in college, they end up getting pregnant with a kid, and oh, so lordy, the high school sweetheart female is pregnant, and the male is going, oh fuck, dude, I fucked up, I should have wore a condom, So both of them put their dreams of whatever they're doing on hold to raise a family. And when couples put their dreams on hold to support the mistake, miracle that they made, they're gonna be like frustrated and shit when they're in their 40s paying off student loans for a student degree they never fully got to get. Oh,
their friends, well then...
There's way too much pressure in society for men to start a family and for women to have kids and get married. It's pretty despicable.
Find another woman. Frankly, it's insulting to me and my friends that that's something you would even expect from us.
Frankly, it's insulting to me that there are women who are allowed to make gender-based associations. Blah. It's insulting to me that women can make gender-based associations about men, but as soon as we do it to women, oh, you're attacking us. You men are just sexist.
It's so lowbrow.
If you want to mix in people like me and people like my friends who are go-getters, who work really hard, who make their own money, who are talented, skilled, ambitious, please don't mix us in with the Tatianas. We don't want to be there.
For high caliber women that want a high caliber man, we will always have something going on that is more important than you. Got it? If you can't handle that, then you are missing out on me or my friends,
People like me and my friends.
and you'll be absolutely miserable when you find a loser of a woman who will make you a priority. Why? Because a real woman doesn't make losers like you a priority.
If that's what you want, find them. Please, for the love of God, do not mix us in with them because we don't want to be there.
So if you want to be truly happy and date someone like me,
Women are so catty towards each other, and here's a prime example of it. You got Jennifer just giving Tommy Lorraine the business with this satire video, and rather be like, hey, you know what? Here's a fellow woman who's bitching about the dating scene. Some women can relate to it, but if she doesn't like you, she's not going to relate to you. She's just going to be like all mean and stuff about it. And I guess satire is subject to the person who watches it. Because I've had people make satire about me that's pretty mean and effed up, to be fair.
or my friends, there you go. And if you don't follow our suggestions, good luck with the loser that you're going to end up who treats you with respect and makes you a priority. We're here for you. We love you. We're really amazing. But you know that.
All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on.
Okay, Tommy Lorraine, that's not gonna matter if you are a shallow person, regardless of how attractive or successful you are, you're going to attract shallow people. Thank you, QuickTime Player, for not freezing up. Now this video is how long? Oh, it's almost an hour long. YouTube, if you like the red pill rants that I do, subscribe for more. This is what I perceive to be my opinion. I don't claim it to be truth. There are going to be some people who agree with me, and quite frankly, some people who disagree. That's, as they say, life. But I feel like if my videos help in some way, shape, or form, then let's make one. Then again, I don't have to make a live stream with me making the snakeskin staff. That could be a company secret, you know what I'm saying? That's an awesome idea, and other people might try to steal it. But anyways, YouTube, I do appreciate y'all watching this here racism and sexism political discussion video. I'll catch you cuckoos later.